easy entry system, keyless go. I just need to put my finger on it and it opens up, as you can see. And also if you want to lock it, you just, before I get in there, you just run your finger over this here and the car locks, and so the window mirrors fold in. But let's get in and have a look at it. So just immediately when you get into the car, you can see the AMG signage on the door, very, very nice. And it's immediately stunning and grabs your eye. It's very different to the other AMGs, and I think this one really sets the car apart from any other AMG that's out there or has been out there. Even the SLS is a fantastic car, but the interior on this just, I think personally, makes a mockery of it to some extent. Perhaps it's a bit of a strong word, but it is a fantastic interior. And you've got the fantastic chrome finishes here, and you've got the nice finish along the armrest as well. So let's get in and have a look. So nice and low, very, very low down the car, and the car works on a push to start basis. So you've got the center console over here, so you've got the navigation screen and media screen, and then you've got the kind of cup holder area here, and then you've got things like your fan controls and so on, but very nice. And then you've got the new kind of center console with your comfort, sport and sport plus, race, push to start. So if I just start it up, very nice, very simple, just mute the audio, and you can see over here now, if you start it up, you've got things such as the switching off the kind of traction control. You can control the suspension type, so you can set it up from sport, sport plus, give it a more rougher suspension. You've got the nifty trackpad that a lot of the new Mercs have. When you push this, it's like a mouse and it changes what's on the screen. So that's a very, very nice little feature. And of course you still got the old school kind of trackpad where you can still move things around if you like as well. We've got the gear selection here, so you've got park, reverse, neutral and drive. So all you need to do is just engage it and then press park to re-engage it. Pretty simple in that respect. You've got the ability to open up the exhaust valves, so close them and you can open them. You've got a manual, you've got start-stop technology in this car, so if you're in comfort mode it automatically comes on, but you can switch it on, switch it off. And you've got the manual transmission gearbox if you want to drive in manual, and of course you've got the on and off for the navigation system and the media system over here, so you can sound up. And yeah, pretty simple in that respect. The cabin itself is very, very nice, very spacious. You've got the nice sunroof over here as well, and of course you can close it if you want, but I like to keep it open. You've got a nice function in this car, it's the SOS function, so that kind of works on the basis that if you're ever in an accident, it's connected to the Mercedes call center, and if you don't respond when they call you, then they automatically dispatch your emergency services and your EMTs. So that's a really cool feature. I think it's very nifty. God forbid you have an accident, but then that's a great way to help if there ever is. So looking at the navigation system, you've got things like, obviously you've got your radio and so on there, and then you've got just click on the menu, you've got other options such as climate control, temperature, and you can set up the distribution by just using the same controls just down here. So very, very nice. Clicking on the menu option again, you can see things such as the radio, media, telephones, vehicle information, so you can see what the vehicle's all about. It's a very nice little animation that happens, so you can look at what you want to select in the car, and see the manuals there, and time and vehicle settings. Very, very cool in how they've done things in this vehicle. Mercedes have really gone to another level in this one. And obviously you've got times, you've got your kind of temperature controls on the bottom, so it's nice and easy when you're driving. So yeah, very, very nice car, very customizable to how you want to drive it. Obviously being an AMG, that's a given anyway, but with this car it's on another level. And just looking over here at the actual car itself, you've got the flappy paddles over here, so down, and you can shift up and down. Very nice. A very nifty, simple kind of dashboard, I guess, in terms of what you can see. You've got the speedometer, and obviously your rev counter, which is very important in this car, and obviously your center console with, you know, whatever you're in right now. It could be, you know, navigation, or it could be your radio or media. Again, very, very easy. Just, you know, scroll through whatever you're looking for and activate whatever it is you're looking at. So I'm going to select the trip for now. But yeah, I like this car. I think it's an awesome car to drive. The steering wheel, of course, is the AMG finished steering wheel. So it's a dynamic fiber and leather split. In my C63, we've got a full dynamic fiber steering wheel, but this has got a split of the two, so somewhat the older style of the AMGs, but a fantastic. So looking around in the cabin, the car has got obviously fantastic seats. When you're driving at speed, you need something to keep you nice and safe, and you've got a nice AMG logo in the chair as well, similar to the C63. And I believe there actually are speakers in this car just behind the headrest as well, or it might be inside the headrest, but I'm not sure about that. But yeah, very, very nice, very comfortable seats, as you can tell, and you can get the stitching in any colour you want, so red, green, or whatever you're looking for, along the dashboard as well, so you can have a very similar type of stitching there too. Over here we've got the kind of glove box and the glove compartment, so you can lock the boot from here by having your key in there. You've got your USB controls and your SD card slot as well, so that's very nice. And of course your 12-volt power supply is also there as well. So really, really practical in some respects. You know, a lot of people will argue, how practical can a car like this really be? But then, you know, my counter argument is then don't buy it. It's a mix and match of both. It's one of those things, you know, you either like it or you just don't. But you know, boot space as well is pretty good. So let's have a look at the boot space. Come around here. Again, you're not going to be doing your airport runs in this car, but boot space is pretty good. Maybe a set of golf clubs or sports bags or whatever in there. Nice little tourer. Small hand luggage, small suitcase. But very practical for the purpose of this car. It's certainly not a car that you're going to be driving everywhere, every day, but you still can if you wish, from a driving perspective. And just looking down the cabin looks very nice as well from here. Got the nice carbon fibre bar that runs along the back of the car as well. And of course, it doesn't help. It does help having this fantastic sound right at the back of the car. It can complete purr and rumble all the time. So there you have it. That's the AMG GTS, and we'll take it for a spin. And yeah, let's see how it is. You can really feel the bi-turbo pushing out. It's interesting because obviously I've got the C63 as well, and I've driven a few other AMGs, and there's a debate that the naturally aspirated engine was going to be a difficult one to follow up, but this is fantastic. The V8 bi-turbo really knocks out the revs. It's not economical. The C63 in quotes is economical, but it's obviously relative. This is off the face, to be fair, and the power and the sheer looks of people you're going to get from just driving down the street. It's an absolute head turner at a different level. So you know, if you can get your hands on one of these even for a bit, you know, there you go, people are cheering. It's one of those cars that you want to definitely get hold of and drive. It's the AMG GTS, by the way. There's a GT version as well, so it's got a little bit less horsepower, but it's nevertheless a fantastic vehicle. And this is a 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds. Sorry, 4 seconds, 0 to 60, and the GT is in 4.4. So this is a very, very fast car. and everybody is taking pictures in their cars, so nice and safe there by other drivers.
They obviously don't have a buddy who can film on their behalf, I guess.
Yes, so we've got Mark at the controls, by the way, guys. So if you're familiar with our channel, Mark is our guy who's filming at the moment, but normally he's in front of the camera.
Yes, it's very difficult in this car to film, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's fast.
Well, another AMG coming up on the right here. It's an SLK AMG, I believe. Yeah. So it's an SL AMG. It's a very nice car. Just went past, and he was having a look as he went through. This is definitely a head turner. I mean, all AMGs are fantastic and they turn heads, but this is something else. Got to be said. This is really a pleasure to drive, and it doesn't feel like you're in an AMG. Actually, it feels like you're in a regular comfort car, because AMGs have a bit of a tough suspension in general. But this is a good balance of everything. It's a much longer bonnet, much similar to the sister car, which was the SLS, a bigger version of this car. The car is priced at 123 to 125 grand base price, based on base car plus your options on top will be a lot more. So that's about $250,000 if I'm right. Mark, is that about right?
I think that sounds about right. And then, if you've got enough money, I think it's well worth the investment.
I think so. And then the other car is the GT, which is a £97,000 or £95,000 option, which is about 180, just under 200 grand dollars. So yeah, that's the AMG GT so far. We're going to get a lot more shots and a lot more reactions, and see what other people think. But so far so good. In the interior, we'll give you a good shot of the interior as well, and tell you a little bit more about the car. Very, very responsive, the car. AMGs are also very good in general, but this just feels that somewhat more of a kick to the car. And as we head down this straight road, you can see just how the car moves at speed is fantastic. If I open into Sport Plus, I let the exhaust open up. You can really hear and the downshifting of the vehicle. It's just fantastic. I hope it's just as audible as it is in real life on the camera, but if I shift through the gears, it's a fantastic grip, and like this kind of blurb out of the back of the engine, and it just shifts gears at a ridiculous rate. Fantastic machine, fantastic responsiveness, and at a fantastically expensive price. At 125 grand, it really should be fantastic. And I think it is. I think they've done a fantastic job on this car. I think they've achieved it. It's definitely the best AMG I've driven, and I've driven a few. I haven't driven all of them, but I've driven a few. This is right up there, and it's an awesome vehicle to just go for a cruise, or go down. Certainly not to pop down to the shops to, but that doesn't mean it's not possible to do that. It can do that, but it's an awesome vehicle just to do a nice summer's day cruise, as we're doing right now in the car. So that was it. That's the AMG GTS. I love this car. It's my favourite car out there right now. Definitely want to keep this car. It's one for the long run, I think. It's an awesome car to drive, and the variation in speed from being in comfort mode to Sport Plus gives you full control over what you want to do. And the Sport Plus mode opens up the engine, the valves of the exhaust, gives it that extra kick and the sharpness in sharpness in terms of the gear changes. The handling, the suspension all tightens up. It's fantastic, Sport Plus. But if you want to drive it comfortably in day-to-day use in comfort mode, it still does that very, very well. I like it. I can't really speak any more praise about this car. It's over the top. It's fantastic. It's in your face. It's a head turner. You're driving down the road, everybody will look at this car. You will be seen, and they will literally admire the car everywhere you go. So if it's for day-to-day use or for a weekend car, fantastic. AMG GTS, they've nailed it. They've got it right. It cost, as I mentioned before, $125,000 for the GTS, £125,000. It's about $250,000 if on a straight conversion, it might be more or less in America. But you know, it's certainly up there in terms of the kind of supercars. It's 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. If you aren't looking to spend that kind of money and you want to keep it sub £100,000, then the AMG GT is available as well. I think that's coming out next year, but you can place orders right now for it. The GT is obviously identical in terms of the exterior. There are a few options that are missing, like for example red brake calipers, but more or less the same car from the exterior. I think also the lips, the carbon lip on the front of the AMG GT is in the same colour as the rest of the car. But you know, these are really small points. If you're looking to get this car, you know, nobody's going to really know too much of a difference other than the back of the badge saying S. So the AMG GTS is a this one here is a 510 brake horsepower engine, I believe, and the GT is a 480 odd, I think, brake horsepower, so much more akin to the previous 63 engines, as it were, but obviously a V8 bi-turbo in all of the cars. So all new Mercedes AMGs are V8 bi-turbos. This is a fantastic car. I mean, GTS or GT, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. You know, the variance in power is only something you're going to really face on the track, and I'm really excited to take this around the track at some point. But I think, you know, for day-to-day purposes, visually they're identical, bar maybe the spoiler and the lip, not the spoiler, the carbon fiber lip on the front of the car, or the black lip, depending on which option you go for, and also the red calipers. Other than that, there's no variance in the difference from the exterior. So pick up whichever one you want. You're not going to be disappointed at all. They're so rare right now in the UK. They're very difficult to get hold of. I think if you want to order one right now, you have to place an order for now to get it in. You know, so you know, go out there, have a look at it, test drive one if you can at your local dealer, and you will never look at AMGs the same after this. But I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. It's been fun to create it, and we'll be trying to get our hands on as many cars as possible. This car is a dream, and a fantastic car to drive, and I highly recommend it. So please subscribe to the channel, share it, comment and like. Tell people about this channel, because we're trying to, you know, create as much, you know, interesting content as possible, and you know, we've got some nice videos of vehicles coming up, and this one was hopefully one that you've enjoyed as well. So share it, comment, like, you know, subscribe, tell people about it. Follow us on Instagram as well. Our Instagram channel is The Proper London Life, so The Proper London Life, one word. And also on Twitter, we just set up an account. It's Prop London Life, so PROP London Life, or one word. Yeah, follow us on Facebook as well. We've got a group there, The Proper London Life. And yeah, just hope you enjoy what we're doing, and we enjoy creating the videos. And we'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.